Hi there, Bob Leda here, and welcome to this episode of Stepping into the River. This one is a more poetic than literal episode as we're working with breath. We'll be working with a guitar player who had a couple of different laments. One was about posture, as his chosen shape was one that sort of bent over the instrument like this, and the other was inconsistent breathing, which was giving him a problem when he was doing a recording session. And his sound was a little here, a little there when he was playing. What we asked him to do was to find the ease that you can get from resting. Many centuries ago, Lao Tzu said, "All action begins from rest. Practice non doing, and everything works from there." That was my goal in this session, and we'll see how it turns out. So please take a watch, take a listen, and we'll see you on the other side. All right, Julian, we got your crew here, extra eyes and ears, here to offer insight and illumination into how you go about playing. Now, we do our usual stuff, compare his top half to bottom half, what might be over contributing to his playing. Left side to right side, where is home base? Where does he go when finishing a phrase, or where does he play from? Front half to back half, what might be doing more to keep him upright? What you catch about his breathing, and where your attention goes as Julian plays. That's the general stuff. Anything specific that you're working on these days, or you'd like everybody to look for,
I don't know. I tend to lean a lot like this.
Okay.
I think it's because I'm trying to hear more, but I'm also like.
Okay, so we'll look for your
part.
shape. No, we'll look
Yeah.
for your shape. We'll look for your shape. Anything else?
My breathing tends to be pretty it's not very consistent. Like I'll have deep breaths and then short breaths.
Okay.
And it comes up because when I'm recording, I'm like this, and then I'm breathing like into the mic.
Oh, into the mic, yeah, right.
Yeah. So that's my big problem. But.
Okay, well, you don't always have problems with other things too. But I'm gonna get out of the way, and I'm gonna go where your hat is.
Okay.
And thank you. It's all yours.
All right. This is a tune I'm writing, I guess. I'm kind of working on it. So, yeah.
shape, and that shape can be good posture, it can be bad posture. You know, the posture is how we're in the shape. And so you have a shape where you're coming over like this. Now I'm going to be doing some hand stuff if that's okay.
Yeah,
Is that all right?
that's fine.
Okay. So, you know, get into your typical playing place. All right. So what I see is concern right here that if you let go entirely, that would happen, right? So there's this extra stuff that's here. That's, well, you know, this is poetry, not prose. But if you remember, I forget who we did it with, but you can have a sense of, as you're breathing out, the energy of your breath coming up right out through the middle of the top of your head, right? And this thing, you can rest on the buoyancy of your breath as you're breathing. So you're not so much breathing down that way, you're breathing up this way. Yeah, and architecture moves your breath out like, oh my gosh, Julian, you okay?
Yeah.
That was a lot. That was a lot. Yeah, that's. I think I told you the first week. It looks like nothing's happening, but something's happening. So this can be just a little more flexible, and you can wind up. Yeah, and I'm going to stay here. Go ahead and try to play a little bit. I'll step away later on. How's that?
A little more comfortable.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to find there for you is having your head supported through your entire spine, all the way down to in here, into where your sitting bones are. And then your breath, which is a source of buoyancy, really energetically coming out the middle of the top of your head. And then there's not that risk of collapse, right? Because you've got this wonderful fountain that's happening. So try to tap into that for yourself. I'm going to get out of the way again, go over to the hat seat. Thank you. So yeah, go ahead and play again, and it's weird. You don't have to hold yourself up because your breath does it. Okay, it's weird.
Whoa, you did it with your eyes closed all the way through.
I don't know. I feel like I was just trying to focus on the breath and less
It
about.
was like a deeper sense of concentration than it was.
What did you see? What did you hear?
Stuff.
Maya and then Emily.
Yeah, goats.
I guess you were more tight with your like time feeling.
Yeah, oh yeah, right.
I was just gonna say, just from like a body perspective, you were way more upright this time.
Without insisting on it.
But yeah, without like being like I'm holding myself
Exactly,
upright. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, there definitely was a quantum leap with the posture. I mean, first it was this, and now it was so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I feel more comfortable by singing. I'm just curious. I also play a little bit of guitar, and when I hold the guitar, I don't really have space to lean because it's like here.
Right.
So I
Yeah.
was just, it was a new perspective to think like if
Oh,
I have an
sure.
extra body.
Right.
I think I
Right.
can
Right.
Had
Yeah.
extra.
I forget who I did it with. Remember, I did the one where you did cat and cow, and you go into a slump, and let's just go through here. If you can find a way to take advantage of the buoyancy of your breath, things become a lot easier. You know, especially if you have awkward shapes. Have you ever seen an oud? You know, which is like it's got a big bell over here. You know, and it's like I had a very short woman student who was playing the oud, and it was the same thing. You know, she found a way to use it as a reference rather than something to collapse onto, and then her sound really came out. I mean, your sound just sort of burst out this time.
Yeah.
Golly.
It was. I feel like it was harder to, like, it sounded like it was resonating more. Like I feel like when I'm so on top of it, like it like opens
Yeah.
up. When I go like this, like, it comes away from me.
Yeah.
So that's good. I feel like it's hard. I'm like I didn't play as well because I'm not used to like being.
Oh,
up
well,
here.
right. I mean, you got to coordinate. It's weird, like I was telling you. But I think it's going to pay off for you. That should have felt much less stressful on your back.
Yeah, it felt a lot better. I noticed
Yeah.
that like I could like pick lighter.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had more dexterity, I guess.
Yeah. You weren't as heavy on the chair. You weren't as heavy on the instrument. You weren't as heavy on the strings. Yeah, absolutely. But that, to my ear, it's that the instrument had more room to breathe,
Yeah.
just like you did, and it was a wonderful combination. Big hand for Julian. Thank you. Hi, welcome back. I can't emphasize enough how important it is to rest while you're active. I put it down, for the phrase I use is creative laziness. But in physiological terms, it means your parasympathetic nervous system is intertwined with your sympathetic to keep you from going all frantic and this kind of thing. What you found for this player, or what this player found, was less pain back here, easier with the instrument. He said at the end of that, the instrument had room to breathe and resonate, and it was so. And it was a much more enjoyable experience for him, much more connected with the audience and with his music, and overall a sharp improvement. So resting on the buoyancy of your breath, on your inner flow that heads up this way, it's a great thing and will lead you to places that you don't expect. Thanks for being here this time, and I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time. Okay, bye for now.